Hello guys, welcome to a Train Parrot. We're gonna do an update on Cardano. After all, it's doing all-time highs in social dominance and is potentially printing a triple bottom. We look into the important levels and we are also gonna cover the news. What the hell is calling the attention of Cardano holders and investors? Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell to get notified every time I put out one of these videos. The Parrot Army is doing an excellent job at helping spread out the content from the channel. If you wanna be part of the Parrot Army, then smash the like, write down comments on all the videos, particularly the ones that are suffering the most, which is everything to do with altcoins. For example, look at this poor video with 600 views talking about XRP. Okay, let's look into what's going on with Cardano, starting with the price action. As you can see in here, we have 3 times that we try to break below 0.5 and we managed to get bought up. We are in an area still of a squeeze. I think last week we were around here and now we are attempting to go into the breakout area of the price. That is what most of the retail is seeing. So let's have a look at what the RSI says. And the way I have the RSI in here is because we were plotting all these lines based on the move from the top. We were looking for a breakout and that breakout got rejected as a revenge rally and it sent us not just for a shallow correction, but actually we put a new low in here. So what I'm gonna have to do is reshape all these lines, and I wanna do it while you're looking so you can understand where I'm coming from. First of all, this was a fake out. So the first movement we're gonna do is move this line from here into there. Oh, wow. That means that this move that we're currently seeing is hitting precisely the weekly resistance. Fair enough. For the next move, I'm actually going to connect this top with the actual top in there, and then I'm gonna start shaking this line until I can manage to hit the closer possible to touching both lows in this area. So that is gonna give me the perfect shape of a falling wedge. And that, my friends, has a bullish bias, of course, and we can keep this red line in there because it makes sense. If we had a breakout from around here, we first need to reclaim the low support, which is at 47. After that, we need to potentially, if I'm speculating correctly, we need to get into 58. And all of that is assuming that everything goes well, of course. And with that in mind, we can do some mapping of these RSI levels into price. And of course, we need to say, what if something goes wrong? Well, it can go wrong in so many ways. Any of these levels can reject, but let's assume that we don't break out from here and we go one level deeper and we meet with that trend line right there. So I'm gonna calculate those levels and I'm actually gonna add some price nodes, one in here, one in the next resistance, and one at the bottom level. I'm not gonna place one right where we are because that is more or less where the price is now, which is around 0.56. So let's go into the reverse RSI and let's map all those things. We got a 58.06, we have a 46, 47, 45, and a 35.21. We need to enable these two. And now we can see where is the actual resistance. Cardano needs to go beyond 63 cents to actually put a weekly breakout. So that line in here of 60, I'm gonna get rid of that one for now, although I know it touches some levels from the past, but I wanna focus on 63. Then we have the support at 35, which we already know is support, but look at that. Basically, this is saying that if we don't break out from the falling wedge now, where we are, that rejection can send us into the bottom of the falling wedge in the momentum, and that corresponds with Cardano price at 35 cents, which is where we came from. Now, if we break out, we go into 63, and if we go beyond that 47, 45, and we go into the next resistance, we get into 87. That is precisely the level of the order book at 86.55, more or less. But at that point, we are reclaiming so many levels that we need to be looking for the top of the range. So let's see where is the top of the range, at least as of now, is more or less 86, and I'm gonna put it in here, and let's change the color to green. And that level doesn't appear in the chart because it's extremely high. That is $3.5. That is really crazy. So from where we are, from an RSI of 43 to get into the top of the range and repeat the performance that we have in here and there in terms of momentum, that sends the price to $3.5. Let's see how large is that relative to Fibonacci extension. So if we use this low in here, which is, I believe, the lowest low in the recent price action, which is 50 cents, an extension of golden pocket is 2.27. So that level of 3.5, I'm not sure if we can do it this cycle, to be honest. Let's look at the previous cycle. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 impulsive moves. In here we have 1, 2, and 3. So maybe one more. But watch out if we don't actually put a new high in the momentum. Be prepared to get disappointed if we don't get a 3.5. If we get a 3.5, of course, that is a new all-time high. In terms of longs versus shorts, we are not very overheated. We are actually very close to an area of value, although we need to move it slightly in this direction. That could be at 32. At the moment, we are at 42. And when it comes to socials, things are getting really overheated. This is at 11.5. What the hell is attracting so many people to talk about Cardano? 12% of all crypto is currently talking about Cardano, whereas very recently it was just 4, so this is 3 times that. Well, I see 2 bullish news at the moment. One is ADA trades at 0.57 as ETF approval, odds hit 90%. So maybe it's coming from that, it's high likely. Second one is heavy whale accumulation, 180 million ADA bought in the last 24 hours. This was published yesterday. Large holders soak up 100 million at sub 56, reversing the mid-June distribution trend, and historically front-running 10-15% rebounds. And on the bearish side, we have Cardano drops 15% on profit taking, 70 million long wiped. It's not a big number, to be honest. It's a 3 out of 10 though. When it comes to liquidation levels, let's understand where is the risk, of course, and we have that risk at 50 cents. It spans all the way to 45, I will say, being still big. And that sweet upside, if we want to look for something that is not that far, just 1 minute ago we were talking about $30.5, but if we want to stay realistic, or if you want a shorter term kind of trade, I will look for this area of 58% upside around the 88 to 90 cents. We talk about this is also the golden pocket. If we manage to get there, maybe just possibly hold on to your long, because after achieving the golden pocket, maybe there is further upside to be had. And after all, we have also the $1 psychological lever coming after, with also decent liquidity. It is in here where there could be some doubts that we can reach significantly higher, because there is a depression that goes very deep in this area there. After that, we resume from 120 into 131. The daily as well could be putting a breakout, so I will monitor what's going on with the daily before even thinking about a breakout on the weekly. Ideally, we want to see the breakout on the daily first, maybe in the next couple of days, and then approaching Sunday with a breakout in this area of the RSI weekly as well. Very inconveniently, the resistance is very close to the breakout, so maybe the breakout ends up being confirmed already at 47, which is a breakout that is immediately against the next resistance. Well, welcome to the world of trading. You don't get what you want, you get what it is. And looking at CryptoQuant, we can see so far everything in the green. There are no red flags, at least from this set of indicators, which is always good to do a checkbox and just see if something is smelling fishy from that end. Of course, it's not the only end. There's tons of additional data that I like to look, but we want to keep these altcoin videos that no one watches and no one cares short enough so you can still stay informed. Join my trading competition on Bluffing. There is a link in the description. Join my team and you can win part of the share of $4.2 million, or maybe if you get lucky you can win this lottery as well. They are giving away a Tesla Cybertruck. Of course, if you don't have an account on Bluffing, open one first using also my link in the description. Get 10% cashback and 3,000 future bonuses by doing so. You definitely help the channel, so I appreciate it. Something I forgot to say, I want to say, I don't see this as an overcrowded trade. My throat is feeling a little bit sore today. Despite the fact that there is so much social dominance, longs are not really overcrowded, so that is kind of an interesting combination, and I think it's a bullish one. Anyways, I'll let you go. Bye bye.